Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is well. My name is Tabriz, and this is the Amateur Footballer Podcast Unhinged. I want to welcome our special guests, Sam and Mo, to the panel. How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you. Very excited. It's going to be good.
Good. So the first question I want to ask all of the panelists is just a straight yes or no answer. Was it a red card? Sam?
No.
Emeka?
No.
Coach Barry?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nana?
Absolutely not.
Mo?
I say an orange.
Oh, there's always got to be one. There's always got to be one.
If that is anywhere near an orange, football is dead.
Yeah. Well, this day and age,
Oh dear. Jack Osborne, good evening, gents. Yes, good evening to you as well. And no, if you're not if you're on about the Apidu game, it was soft. So yeah, hey, everyone said no. You know what? Let's gonna go straight into it. At the top, I have Sam Wilson. Next to Sam, I have Emeka. Next to Emeka, I have Coach Barry. Next to Coach Barry, we have the official referee, Nana. And next to Nana, we have Mo from Mo Football Coaching. How is everyone?
All well. All good.
Okay. Great stuff. So before we kind of go into it, Sam, could you kind of could you kind of give us like a brief summary of the team that you manage? Just the team that you manage, actually.
Yeah. So I'm the first team manager of Ashton United Football Club. I'm currently on the pyramid, step 6, playing in the combined counties. Been there now, been my 5th season, which is why I look like this. But yeah, loving every moment of it, and just enjoying the journey, to be honest with you. So very exciting times ahead for me and the club. So it's good.
Wonderful. And Mo, could you kind of give us like a brief synopsis in terms of what you are about as well?
So MO Football Coaching, abbreviated for my name, Mimi Olaide. Deliver one-to-one group and team training sessions. It's coming up 2 years this August. So it's an ever-growing small football coaching company, aiming to develop and inspire, motivate youth, adults, grassroots football games.
Amazing. And Nana, what do you do?
Why do you insist on asking me stupid questions? Why?
Nana, show them the badge and then it answers it. Show them the badge.
I've been on this show for how long? And you're going to ask me today what I do. I sell plantain and chips in the corner over there. That's what I do.
Oh dear. I want to welcome everyone onto the panel, and again, Coach Barry, the founder of Independent, and Nana, who's a defender for Independent Vets and also a level 5 referee. So I want to thank everyone coming on. I think Coach Barry just disappeared. I think he's bored of us already. But I'm sure that he's going to come on. And again, thank you to everyone that's been watching. Please put in your comments, your suggestions, your questions. We're going to go straight into it.
So how do you ask everybody? You didn't ask Emeka.
Sorry, Emeka. What do you do?
Are you okay?
Sorry. Emeka, so what
are you saying? Because of the jerseys wearing, it says it all, isn't it?
No, that's not start.
Because of jerseys wearing, what you saying? It says it all, isn't it?
Gosh. Emeka, so what do you do, Emeka?
Yeah, so I used to play, but I'm now part of Sam's coaching team. So yeah, that's what I do now.
Short and sweet. I like that. All right, so let's kind of go straight into the first topic. And again, please put in your questions, your comments. We have tons of stuff to actually get through. So, coaching, playing, managing at non-league and grassroots level. I'm gonna start off with Sam. Actually, how has it been throughout lockdown with Ash United and literally how the players responded to the whole situation?
It's difficult, I think, for everyone. I think across the panel, I'm sure we've had our challenges along this journey. I think for the players, really, actually, it was the amount of games, especially after lockdowns. Obviously, managing the workload of the players, getting the training sessions in at appropriate times. Obviously, managing the numbers of training, especially at the start of the pandemic, where we had the ratios that we were allowed at those sessions. Planning those sessions was tough, and obviously keeping the groups manageable, but also getting the most work out of the players. So to start with, we had to actually go for 2 groups for an hour of like 12 players at the start of the pre-season, which obviously, as you can imagine, when you're working 11v11, you've got you want to get your patterns ready, you want to get the boys physically, tactically, technically ready for the season, but actually you're having to work very individually. So the bonuses of that were, though, that you could work on technical bits that maybe you wouldn't normally. So I'm sure Mo will discuss later about the amount it does in an individual session and obviously the changes that brings. So that's something we had to consider, and it was a strength. But in terms of the team element, and to be honest with you, the social, like football's all about, for me, being a family, being everyone fighting for the same cause, everyone on the same page. And we lost an element of that because of the pandemic, because we just couldn't have those group situations. So there were those challenges. And like I say, going to the actual game days, training days, it was those managing those sessions and making sure we weren't overworking the players. And obviously at our level, people were on furlough. So psychologically supporting the lads with their families, like work, you've got to get the balance right, because you want to train twice a week, but some of them have got all these problems that they're having to solve. So there were a number of different challenges. But what I will say is it was so nice just to get the lads playing football again. So when everything was like, right, let's go, let's start playing. And actually, I'd say there was a freshness in mind in some of that as well. The players were like, especially at adult level, like kids again, like ready to go and play, give everything. And like it was like it basically had their ball taken away from them, and they didn't want to lose that chance again. So I think there was definitely that change there for me. But yeah, number of challenges.
And like Mo, but like same question, like how like has it been for you coaching throughout the whole pandemic, and you know even afterwards? Like, have you kind of seen any kind of things that players really want to improve on post and pre?
Yeah. So mainly in terms of the interest and the bookings that I've received after the March 29th, once grassroots football was able to safely return, was mainly working on like fitness, speed, agility, quickness, players who just want to sharpen up on their touches, on their first touch, ball control, but just sort of getting out there and just being able just to train, so echoing what Sam was saying, that social aspect, and just train with their friends and bring, build group sessions and train with the teammates that they play on a Saturday or Sunday and bring them along and have that social element as well as that competitive element as well. But mainly in terms of the areas of where players that I'm coaching want to improve on is that speed, agility. A lot of players, because of the ground that were playing during the April, May, a lot of the grounds were quite hard, and it was then giving them a lot of impact on their knees, on their ankles, on their joints. So it's again doing that strengthening, conditioning, recovery style type of session to ease them into playing, because you've gone from November, December without playing, and then you're expected to play a full 90 in April, May without training for 2-3 months. So it's just getting them, being able to just ease them into the 45-minute, 60-minute load, 90-minute load.
Cool. And to like coach like Barry, again, you've got to kind of oversee everything that kind of goes on at Independent. How has it been for you logistically, just to get plans in place again throughout the pandemic, and can also now leading kind of into the 2021-22 season?
It was very difficult for us because with the social aspect, the fear factor is still there with a lot of the parents. So all the boys did not come back to training. The boys that did, it was a bit strange for them to start mixing and being together again. So it took us a time to get scheduled and slowly get the boys back into training as a group. At first, it was crazy. They was all running about and jumping on top of each other, and we had to try and still keep that sort of social distancing. But once we got it going and got our plans right, but it was the thing I found difficult. There was so many. They've got this thing called a COVID. All these new COVID rules that they brought in, which was just ridiculous for us. So we had to do our own strategies to keep it as safe as we can. But what was very frightening for me, we had some boys who hadn't been out the house for the whole period of the lockdown because schooling was at home, and some
Yeah.
boys it was very hard to get them back into training, mixing,
Hmm.
convincing parents that it's all right again.
Yeah.
So most of our strategies became very like with families, and it was really, to tell you the truth, it was really difficult to breathe. And then to get them back there, like you said, the sharpness, the fitness, and everything back in the small-sided games. Then they're going to play
Yeah.
11 games. It was really difficult, but I have to give them credit that they really turned it around after the first month. And all the coaches, I give credit as well to get them all the boys back on song after about 5 or 6 weeks. So the main difficulty was families encouraging, thinking that you're safe, and I think it's going to still go on again the way the patterns are going with the news, and they're saying this coming back with these different variants. It's going to be a long haul for all of us.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. And like Nana, and again, you can probably wear two hats as a kind of referee and also as a player. So I'd probably want to touch probably upon the refereeing side of it. Having like such a long time off. I mean, were you kind of nervous, kind of getting back and actually seeing 22 people on the pitch, and you kind of thinking about your decisions and again your fitness levels? I mean, what was your mindset?
Yeah, first of all, Mo, that's Mo. Yeah, could I pay for one-on-one sessions for Tabriz because his type is atrocious. I'm happy to pay for that. Secondly, no, in terms of fitness, it was worrying for me because I get my fitness from playing football, from refereeing. So when those things are stripped away, it becomes, really difficult. I'm not as disciplined as a lot of people are in terms of going out there every day and having a jog. I like to swim, and the swimming pools are closed. So fitness was worrying, and obviously put on a couple of kilos. I was careful. But in terms of refereeing, when you have a bit of experience in refereeing, it's just like riding a bike. It's about acknowledging, identifying those decisions, and making the right call. It's as much as you are applying the laws of the game, it's about man management as well. So it's not difficult in that sense, if you get my drift. But I was raring to go. There was nothing to do. You go to work, you come back home. It was driving a lot of people insane. I'm sure a lot of you will agree with that. So I was just raring to go. So when that date was put in the preliminary for 29th, I screamed like a little girl, just waiting to go. So yeah, it's been trying times, really trying times, and we're all glad to get back on the pitch. You can see the faces on the teams when you're in the middle, ready to go. You can see the face of everybody there. Everybody was on it, ready to go. So yeah, hopefully we can get some sort of normalcy as we go further down. Hopefully by the end of this year, because COVID is here to stay. It's going to be like a flu, normal flu, as we go along. So we just have to. Sorry.
No. Sorry, Lana. Karen. Sorry.
Yeah, we just have to keep doing what we're doing. Washing our hands, keeping the social distances as we can, and testing when we can. I wouldn't advise anybody to get the vaccines, but if you believe in it, go get it. I've got mine. I've got the 2 jabs, and I know my family can rest easy now because everybody in there has had years. So it's a bit of weight lifted off my chest, especially when you have people with underlying health conditions in your family. So, yeah, I would advise everyone to go get it.
Cool.
Nana, can I ask Nana a question?
Yeah. Go on.
Nana, since the return, has there been more yellow cards, red cards, since everybody came back flying and ready to go? Has it gone up?
I'll say the first few games, yes, because I think a lot of people were eager to, get in there, and as well as people were not match fit.
Yeah.
So they were mistiming those tackles and challenges. And yes, it was a bit of, but as time went on, it's been much, much better. People are slowly getting back to fitness, understanding the game again, enjoying themselves as opposed to just, going out and just kicking the lungs out of each other. So it's been good. It's been good. My card count has been quite low since we've been back. And for me, that's saying something.
Yeah, that is.
But I mean, my tolerance level, especially for discipline, is very, very low. I always say to them, I'm there to do a job, so I'm not there to take any abuse whatsoever. So if I cannot manage you, then you can. If I can use the sin bin, then you're definitely going out to chill for 10 minutes, guaranteed. You keep doing it, and you're not coming back on the pitch.
Not like to give a card, mate.
It's very low.
Yeah, I mean, again, to be fair, to Nana, Nana gets both teams before the game and literally kind of gives them like a full-on essay for about 2 minutes of the rules of refereeing and literally how he's going to referee the game, which is actually pretty good. Actually, it can bore people and people just want to play, but Nana definitely sets his stand before the game. So, again, honestly, Nana's a decent referee. Well done, Nana.
If I'm doing something wrong, they wouldn't be giving me cup finals. Let's just put it that way.
Hey.
He's dropped that.
I'll tell you what, we're only 17 minutes
That's
in.
simple,
We're
isn't it?
putting that in. It's in.
Yeah, I've done three. I've done three this season alone after lockdown. So I must be doing something right.
All right.
Can't knock
Okay.
it.
So you actually, so Emeka, so I know that you're part of the management staff at Ash United. How was it for you throughout the whole of lockdown?
So actually, during lockdown, I was playing. So it was only recently I changed over to that side. And I'll say the hardest thing for me is since the age of 10, all I've known is football multiple times a week. So the hardest thing for me was then moving into something where I wasn't playing football. And ultimately, I was enjoying not playing football. So when the football then came back, I feel that the break that we had from football was so long that as a player, it was quite hard to then get back into the swing of things, especially when, Sam's a demanding manager, wanted to then go back to training twice a week. When you haven't done anything for weeks, you've been doing seeing your friends, and you kind of got new hobbies and stuff during that year out. So I think for me, mentally, that was the hardest thing. I remember, I think Sam will be able to speak more to it. We played a team who were probably 2 or 3 steps above us. We got our arse handed to us that day, and that was when I was like, you know what? It's same for me. So, I think that was the hardest thing, was mentally being able to prepare after having such a long time off. I think physically, it's easy to kind of get that fitness back, but mentally, I think that was the hardest thing about not being able to play for so long.
Okay, cool. And again, this is a question, and again, this is an open debate. If touch wood, we kind of go into another lockdown, do you think non-league and grassroots football should continue? And again, this is literally open to the table.
I think it depends on the guidelines for me. I think it depends on what conditions are put on it. Obviously, for mental health of everyone, I think getting sport going and football and getting everything going is good for people, but the protocols have got to be in place as well, because as we've already mentioned about the vulnerable, that needs to be there to keep people safe. But at the same time, I'd love to see the game carry on as well, because I think we're in a much stronger position, as Nana's already mentioned, with the vaccine program wheeling out very quickly now, and obviously people can choose whether they take that vaccine or not. But for those people that are taking it, it should hopefully, touch wood again, that see the numbers fall. And obviously with the new variant, we can fight that a lot quicker than probably the 2 previous variants before. So for me, I think err on the side of caution, always the right thing to do in a process. Certainly as strong as this one, but like I say, if the protocols are there, I'll be open as a coach to carry on playing football. I can't see why not.
Okay, cool.
Grassroots football has to continue. For me, getting into football is all about Ian Wright. He started from grassroots football. He's my idol now still. And yeah, you can think about Jamie Vardy, all of these players that have come from grassroots and made it to the top level. That is possible. And so many clubs, especially now with COVID, it's affected so many clubs' finances. I think a lot of clubs are now looking to grassroots to actually find like the gems nowadays. Instead of looking abroad where it might be a little bit more expensive. So yeah, I know for me, grassroots definitely needs to continue because everyone's trying to get England to win the Euros. Ultimately, you need to start from grassroots to find the people who are going to be in that England team. So if you want England to do well, you need to kind of put money into the grassroots, build the grassroots, and then that's how maybe 5, 10, 20 years from now, England can be successful at these big competitions.
Okay.
I think it should. I think definitely should continue. Also, you're going to see a lot of our smaller sided leagues and that just completely dying. I think small clubs will be dead if we have too many, one or even another lockdown. And I think for people's mentality, psychological issues, we need to keep these places open, sport, health, even walking, all that's got to continue. Just like Sam said, with the right guidelines put in place. But I think if we shut down again, it's going to be very dangerous for even semi-pro and grassroots to survive if we keep shutting down.
Okay. Nana?
I think we all have a part to play. It's very easy to say yes, let it continue, but we all have a part to play in terms of social distancing and adhering to the rules, because the guidelines are there. People just don't follow them. For example, there's a whole list of legislation that you have to go through, even to referee at the grassroots level. They say that you have to report this when it's happening, if there's any, clubs or teams not adhering to the COVID guidelines. But every single week I've been out refereeing since the beginning of since Project Restart. There's been people by the sides of the pitches. There's been no social distancing. When there's a goal scored, everybody runs on the pitch. And this is grassroots football. How are you going to stop that from happening? You see what I'm saying? So it's easy to say, yes, let's let it carry on and let's, but we as a populace need to help to make sure that this doesn't spread.
Okay. Mo?
Yeah, I think I can echo with all that's been said before. There's in terms of the mental well-being, the social connection of what grassroots football brings and sport, alongside with education and schooling, and then what Barry was saying regarding these the leagues and the small leagues and there in terms of funding and clubs, also the smaller clubs, who maybe just have maybe like one team per age group, or maybe just have one team. And regarding the grassroots football and regarding playing week in, week out and training week in, week out and accessing competitions and sponsorship, and relying so much on us as the general public to take their players to the clubs. But then again, you're looking at what Nana's saying regarding, from a referee point of view, someone who is standing in the centre circle and can have a bird's eye view of the players on the pitch, as well as players and staff and fans on the sidelines. And it's that case of, if everyone and every club, every coach, like myself and Sam and Emeka and Barry, like all adhere to the guidelines and to the protocols before, during, and after, then yes, it can continue. But if, you know, as you said, if the FA and the government deem that most can't, then they're just going to pull the plug. You know, ultimately, I kind of now think that the grassroots sport should run alongside what happens within school. And if obviously schools stay open, then I believe grassroots sports should also be able for them to access. And also think about breakfast clubs, lunchtime clubs, off-school clubs, soccer schools, and holidays. That's all provision that children and young people can access. And you also think about work for coaches and for teachers alike as well. It's going to be one of those questions, and those aren't, you know, where it's like some may say yes, some may say no. But whilst it's here, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it for more. Let's enjoy it, and it's going to change how we do things going forward. It's going to change how we operate as football clubs, as coaching companies, as coaches, as players, as managers. It's going to change us in like how we do so, because as Nana alluded to earlier on, is that we're going to have to live with COVID for forevermore. It's going to still be around. It's a good question, very food for thought question. It's good.
Yeah. And Owen Williams, thank you for watching. He says the rules for players are confusing, though. You can't celebrate a goal, but you must social distance at half time, despite playing in close proximity, sweating, breathing for 90 minutes, which is so true. And you know, myself, Nana, and even coach like Barry probably experienced something in the cup final. Like we scored our third goal, and like there must be about 20, 30 people that literally ran onto the pitch and celebrated. And you're not really thinking about COVID. You're not thinking about social distance, because again, it's just a passion of the game. You've just got in front with the, and I was probably in the middle of that melee.
You instigate. Were you instigating it? Were you instigating it?
Well, you know what? The only thing that I can say is that I came on and changed the game. Yeah. So, hey, like,
whoa, what position?
Wow.
What position?
I kind of normally play where Nana plays at centre back, but like because I've got more lung capacity as like Nana, I actually played centre mid.
Wow.
This guy's funny, you know.
Oh, dear me. Oh, but no, you
know, because I keep him on the bench.
Oh,
that's why he doesn't get a game.
Oh, you know what? We let go through this every single week, and I'm like, let me say now, like, Nana is a great, honestly, like he's a really strong defender. He's obviously great on the ball. He's vocal. The only thing that he's got to do, and again, Nana, we've said, hey, rather than me getting the fitness sessions from Mo, I think you should be getting the fitness sessions, because you must be close to the storm right now.
I 100% agree with you on that one. But the point is, even if I'm still this fat and I keep you on the bench, then what are you doing? You see what I'm saying?
You see, but
even if I'm on face and I'm keeping you on the bench, then what are you doing?
No, but you see, the manager trusts me enough to either play centre back, left back, or centre mid. So, I can kind of play in various positions.
I've been at the club for 4 seasons, just about as much as Tobias has. Ask him how many games he's played over the 4 seasons. How many times he started ahead of me over the 4 seasons.
I don't think the audience. I don't think the audience really want to kind of go into this right now.
Well, you did. You did.
We are gonna,
don't back out now.
We are gonna have a podcast. You know what, Nana? Me, like you and I are gonna have a podcast. Just us two, and we're gonna have this out.
That'll be dead after 2 minutes, because you're non-party.
Oh dear me! Oh, great stuff. But hey, again, the whole social distancing and the passion of the game, it's very hard to control. But fingers crossed, we won't experience anything that we've experienced in the last two seasons, and hopefully we can actually get a good season 21/2022. I think.
Yeah,
definitely.
Alrighty. So let's
It's looking at, before we go, I think it's looking at it. It's looking like it, because I think the structures being put in place for next season looks much better. I mean, we're always learning, isn't it? From the beginning of this pandemic to now, we are really learning. So unless some whatever variant comes along and makes it almost impossible, then I think we are on course to start 2021-2022 season in September. All guns blazing. Fingers crossed.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, let's kind of go into the next topic. Ex-pros getting top jobs. I don't know even who to start with this. Let's kind of start with Coach Barry. What is your opinion? I know it's kind of like a general topic, but what is your opinion about this particular issue? If it is an issue anyway, for you.
Well, it's not really us. I used to go Palace a lot, and when I was at Palace, watching Palace in the 90s, they gave Lombardo the job. No qualifications, no coaching experience, just gave him the job. Remember, Alan Shearer got the job, Vialli got the job at Chelsea, Southgate got the job at Middlesbrough. It's if the owners think that's the right decision, that's what's going to happen. Because a player's played at a certain level or a certain type of personality he's got or whatever, they give them the job. Sometimes I think it can work, sometimes it doesn't work. It really depends on the player. Because what you've got to remember, some managers at pro clubs do not coach. All they do is manage, and they bring along a coaching team. Like Pep Guardiola's got a whole coaching staff team where he goes everywhere with it. So it's very difficult. The thing I find a bit funny though is when you bring just a player into championship level, premiership level, and expect them to do great straight away off the gun. I think it asks him a real lot at that sort of level. And I don't know. To me, deep down, I don't think it's right. Me personally, I don't think it's right for them to go straight into at that level. They should do some sort of even shadowing someone and watching how it's done and how the whole of it works to run the whole football club. Because managing ain't just a team, you're running the whole club. It's very different from playing. Very, very different from playing. Being a manager. Sam can tell you that.
Yeah.
But the first thing you've got to manage, I always say to people when they get into coaching, first thing you've got to manage is yourself. Make sure you've mastered yourself first before you go out and telling other people, do this, do that. Because there's different types of coaches. There's coaches who's very good academically, and there's other coaches who's very good. They're more like motivational coaches. You see it. There's some coaches that the players will do anything for them, and there's some coaches who's more academic, more tactical, like that. And if you can get that balance, you can become a world-class coach if you've got both. At the end of the day, it's about what I found in what I do. It's about trust. When the players trust you, it's much more easier to unlock their true potential once you've got that trust. I don't know what the others think.
Yeah, Gary, I agree with you 100%. I think that these, say, ex-pros who are getting the jobs, like the Giggs and the Rooneys and whatnot, I think sometimes these clubs appoint them from the passionate side of things. Because if you see Wayne Rooney, for example, let me explain. Who legend? Yeah, he knows his football, and like I'm saying, I agree with you because he doesn't know the coaching side of it yet. But for such a figure to be at the helm of affairs, can bring out some qualities from the players. I think sometimes that's what they do, and it can backfire really quickly. Lampard was doing well at Derby, but when he had to step up to the play at Chelsea, it's very evident that you see what he did and you see what Tuchel did right now, and it's very evident that there's levels to this business. Lampard, Chelsea legend, so he comes in. Yes, he knows the club, he knows everything about it. Yeah, let's get him there. Let him, ginger the boys up. But it can backfire really quickly.
Not all top players make good coaches. You might make a good player, it doesn't mean you're going to be a good coach. It's completely different managing. Managing and coach completely different from playing.
Yeah,
You've got to have some balls. You've got to have some. You've got to make decisions what people ain't going to like. People are not.
Absolutely.
Some, like I see Solskjaer, he wants everybody to like him. Sometimes he does. Southgate, I don't want to go to Southgate right now.
That's a podcast in itself.
Yeah, that's a podcast, 100%. I mean, Sam, like you've like got your UEFA B coaching badges. I mean, how do you feel about let's kind of say Rooney kind of going straight into management and straight into like Derby job? I mean, how does that make you feel?
I think for me, it's a hard pill to swallow. I'm actually going to change the example. I'm sorry to be a pain about this, but I think the best example at the moment is Andre Pirlo at Juventus, a guy who went into a job straight off the back of playing with actually not the qualifications for the job. From my understanding, I might be wrong with that, but my understanding is he came in just below the qualifications you need for that level. And let's be honest, Juventus have not had the best season for their standards that they've set over so many years with the players that they have. And I think there's an example there of someone who's been rushed into a position. I totally agree with what Nana was saying. Like, these players can bring absolute credibility in terms of playing experience that drive maybe some younger players looking up to those players, and then they've done it. Like, I want to replicate that sort of experience. But as someone who's doing it on the ground, there's nothing better than coaching on the grass with your players and learning day in, day out. I'm making mistakes every day. Like, you're learning throughout the whole process. You're making decisions around man management, as Barry has said. Man management is huge. If you haven't got the trust of the players, forget it. Like, Emeka, as one of my players, obviously there's probably days where he thinks, what is he doing? What is he doing today? But you've still got to build that sort of relationship with them and build that trust. And the only way you gain that is by doing it. Now, for me, my background, I've done what I'm on now. I started coaching at 15. I'm 13 years into coaching. I've done my degree in coaching. Obviously, now got my UEFA B, but I'm still no further down. I'm still doing it voluntarily. Like, I'm not getting paid still to do my coaching and stuff. It is a bit of pill to swallow when you see an ex-pro. It's like 6 months in, and now they're in the Champions League. I think, Nana, your example as well about Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. Well, Thomas Tuchel has no real footballing background as a player. Thomas Tuchel came through a pathway in Germany under the guidance of some very, very experienced and well educated coaches, and the guy transformed Chelsea. I felt in the last 6 months this season, I thought they're playing a brand of football that's exciting, it's engaging, and obviously that's no disrespect to Frank Lampard, because I actually thought Frank Lampard was doing a good job, but that experience of coaching and understanding the pedagogy and the planning process and how you get the most out of the players is so vital. And coaching has changed. That's the other thing I will say. Like, a lot of these players, like the Lampards and that, played in the sort of 90s, noughties. Yeah. Well, coaching and football has changed. It is not like that anymore. And as players, your first instinct when you go into coaching is to follow what a coach has done for you before. That's just natural. That's just going to happen. Like, you're going to pick up things from when you were a player and try and transfer them over. But coaching now has gone to a different dimension. It's not just about the whole team. It's about the individual and how you drive the individual to get the most from the team. How does he fit in? And players are changing. Young players now are a totally different animal to what probably it was when we were young players. Like, they want to be loved. They want to be looked after. They want to have that sense of freedom to be themselves. And you've got to learn that. You've got to have the time to learn that.
Sam, is it just you? Have you got a team there of coaches? You just do a different... I don't know what your budget's like. How many people have you got in your staff?
I apologise to Barry because I can't hear him. So Bex is typing it to me.
I think there's a bit of feedback there.
It's come from my mic. It's feedback.
I'm not sure because he cannot hear you, Gary.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you, Barry.
Sorry.
I can kind of hear you. I think it's his cheap green headphones.
Oh no!
I just want to say,
it is. Sorry,
jump in whilst we did sort out the technical, but obviously from as a Chelsea fan, and then
here we go.
I'd say probably Frank Lampard, probably one of my best players. I didn't really have best players really. Sort of growing out of that best players, but growing up, Frank Lampard obviously did wonders at Chelsea. And I followed him. I followed his journey after football quite closely. Obviously, he went into the media, dabbled in a bit of that, and then he went back and he was doing his qualifications, and then he was doing some work with the youth setup at Chelsea. Obviously, got the Derby role, and then whilst he was doing the Derby position, I believe he was doing his UEFA Pro license, which then enabled him to be considered for the Chelsea role.
But Mo,
yeah.
Do you think he was ready to take over a club the magnitude of Chelsea?
Well, he verbally says that he knew what he was coming into, and if you listen to if you watched, he was on the England game last Sunday, wasn't he? And Gary was asking questions. He was very honest and open. And he's very sort of honest in terms of he knew he didn't do the best job that he could have done, but he's grateful for the opportunity. But going back to your question, it's a tough one because the first season, yes, the transfer ban, yes, bringing in the youth, yes, Chelsea got battered at times, yes, there were some highs and some lows like for any team, but I was happy with him, and I was quite disappointed in Chelsea as a football club because I thought maybe we had some stability for some years to come with Lampard. So I was quite disappointed in
never
when I heard
Chelsea.
Come on.
No,
Yeah,
It's not happening.
But as a Chelsea fan, you'd always back your team and you always be hopeful. So I was quite disappointed that they let him go because I believe personally he was under pressure. Okay, again, I follow him closely, and I felt from his press conferences he was jumping at the media a little bit. He was kind of as if he was fighting against them. You know what the media is like, especially in the media Premier League in this country. They always want to try to underhand you, and So when he got sacked, I was more on some of the players sort of didn't, there was talks of Aspilicueta, there was talk of Rudiger, trying to derail the ship or the train, that analogy. Aspilicueta wasn't really getting game time. Kepa, there was talk of him, Kepa behind the scenes, and all these. So again, it goes back to like what Tam and Barry were saying about how you are with the individuals, the element of trust, knowing your players, how to manage. So in terms of management, I'd say the Chelsea job was a big job, was a step too far. But in terms of him coaching, because again, you will see clips of him on the training ground with his coaching staff, coaching. He had a philosophy at Chelsea. He knew how he wanted to play. He unpicked like Mason Mount. Again, I follow Chelsea, so I knew he was going to be, he was one, and then look at him now, he's thriving.
Actually, Nana, before you continue, and you know what, Mo, again, this is a topic that can go on, and like for me personally,
I know.
And for like me personally, I think we are kind of literally all within that generation where we can remember the management merry-go-round of Sam Allardyce, Mark Hughes, Alan like Pardew, and now we are now beginning to see the second generation of that wheel.
Don't forget Harry Redknapp.
And Harry Redknapp. And now we are now beginning to see the next wheel of Frank, and I'm sure there's going to be Rooney, and I'm sure that there's going to be Nuno.
Giggs.
I'm sure that Ryan,
Ryan,
exactly.
your club.
Exactly. And again, this is probably more a question for Sam and for anyone out there. How can these people that are literally at non-league level, that are kind of grafting and kind of getting the UEFA B coaching qualifications, have any opportunity to actually move up within the pyramid if these ex-players and these managers are just going to go round and around and around and around. Kind of, that's the kind of biggest issue that I kind of face. Honestly, that's the biggest issue that I'm kind of looking at.
It's tough. Like I said already, it's a bitter pill to swallow. It really is. And actually, for someone in my position, you have to look at other avenues. Obviously, the game's evolving all the time, and for me, you got to find different routes. So obviously, sports science has taken control of the game, like all sports, but in football, it's really driving now. And looking into sort of analytical work, that's the way you get in. You got to showcase yourself sort of on a spreadsheets, reports, and doing scouting to show off that knowledge and to network with these people to do that. And it's one of those industries, football's like that. I think if you get your foot in the door and you do a good job, then obviously your reputation grows from there. And obviously that's what you have to do. And the ex-pros have got that head start because they've had that playing experience, and that is that foot in the door. They know people and it gets them in. And for us as sort of non-league coaches, all we can do is showcase ourselves across different elements and different departments. And like I say, that scouting route is probably the main one.
Sorry to cut you, Sam. Non-leagues like that though. The same managers go round and round in non-league. Same managers in the Conference North, Conference South. Same managers go round and round and round. How are you going to break that cycle? How are you going to break that cycle?
That is $1 million question, Barry. That really is. I think one of the main thing is be different. Be different. Yeah. Try and be out there and try different things. Like our club has no budget. I'm not able to pay players to get them to play, and we're up against clubs doing that. We're up against clubs that pay high wages, and we have to be different. We have to box clever. Obviously, I've done recently. We get the lads fitness tested. We film games. We're doing 6-week reviews on players' performance to make it more professional. Mecca's already said about the twice training week. You just got to be different. You got to try and be as professional and as different as you can. And if clubs see you're doing that with no budget, then you can turn around and say, well, actually, hang on a second. You've done it with no budget. If I give you this, what are you actually able to deliver for me? So it is basically just building your portfolio. That's the only way you can break the cycle. Like Brendan Rodgers has, he's an example of someone who's done that. You just got to break the cycle through your portfolio, gaining these experiences, and just being different. That's what you have to do. And don't be scared to be different either. To all those coaches on the podcast now watching, and the coaches on the panel, just honestly, don't be afraid to be yourself and get yourself out there, because there's no right or wrong. It's a game of opinions.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. 100%.
But you've got to be successful.
Yeah, and
you do. God, believe me, you do. Everyone's
what I wanted to add,
because when you ain't winning, no one wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to add, because it's a capsule business right now. I mean, Premiership, Championship, they're scared to invest in someone who they rarely do, someone who doesn't have a proven track record, which makes it more difficult for you guys, Sam, to give you guys an opportunity, because they want to win, they want the money to come in, they want the business to be very successful. But it takes a different type of owner to look, further ahead and say, okay, I'm going to give this guy a chance. I'm going to stick with him, give him time, give him the resources, and let him do a job. The question I wanted to ask more was, if for you as a Chelsea fan, do you think that if they had given Lampard time, for example, what Tuchel has done right now, do you think Lampard would have been able to do that?
Well,
look at him, Mecca.
Well,
that's it.
Because Tuchel's come in and he's obviously changed the way how Chelsea play, changed the formation, changed the main thing was the formation and the personnel. That's the main two things: the personnel and the formation. He's changed.
But the personnel hasn't changed much. He has.
He has.
The same players that they were available to Lampard.
but Lampard didn't favour them. Like Lampard didn't favour Rudiger, and Lampard didn't favour Azpilicueta. So Tuchel has come in and he's gone right. To play as a right centre back. I want Callum Hudson-Odoi to come and play as a right wing back. He's going to bring in Rudiger. He brought back Jorginho. So, but it's at the end of the day, I support. We all know how Chelsea are as a club, but it's successful, and it comes back to what you're saying about. If you're not successful, then the fans aren't going to be happy, and the board's not going to be happy. So it's successful. We just won the Champions League, got to the FA Cup final, we got top 4.
Wait there, no, I'm not having this. It was
all I know is that what he did from January to now, he changed how Chelsea played.
Hang on, Mo. Let's hear the dead team talk. Hang on, Mo. Let's hear the dead team talk.
Question, yes or no? Yeah.
What's that?
Politician. Yes. Right, you're answering the question that wasn't asked. The question was, can Lampard have done what Tuchel done?
So you haven't answered the question. The question was yes or no. If Lampard was given time, would he have been able to do what Tuchel has done now?
How can you answer that question anyway?
Exactly.
We all can.
What? Barry, you gave him, man.
The general public will all go with Tuchel, and no one will go with Lampard. But me as a football person, it's because you never know. You never know. But exactly. It's done. It's done, isn't it? It's done.
That's not a yes or no.
It's done.
Are you saying yes?
It's not. As a Chelsea fan, it's not personally. As a Chelsea fan, it's not a yes or no answer for me. Okay. Like for you as a neutral, it's a simple yes or no, because a lot of people hate Chelsea. No one likes Chelsea, do they?
You're European champions, so just keep smiling.
Yeah, I know. I know we are, and everyone underestimated Chelsea for that as well.
Yeah.
So I know,
exactly.
Not me. I'll back my team to the end. My team to the end.
No, fair enough. And before we kind of move on to the next topic, so Sam, what are you hoping to achieve?
Sam's gone, sorry.
Oh, Sam's gone. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, actually, Nana. I mean, again, I know, So okay. No, Sam is back. Sam is back. Let's see if Sam can connect. Sam, you here?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Cool. Great stuff. So, if you, what's your kind of ultimate ambition? Let's kind of put it out there. What are you hoping to achieve?
For me,
yeah.
For me, just get as far in the game as I can. Like I say, I'll quite happily sit here and say, would I love to be a Premier League manager one day? Absolutely, and I'll do everything I can to make that happen. I think the discussion we've just had about it, in terms of what I need to do, I've got to be different, as I say. I've got to try and get myself out there. You've got to network, and you've got to achieve results. Like, I'm in a non-league environment where I'm looking after a club, a community as well, like all grassroots teams are as well. But I'm looking after a club that stood for 100 years. And I don't want to come out of that and say, oh, actually, his win rate percentage was really low, because there's going to be other clubs going, well, I don't want him. Because I am judged on results. As much as for a coach, sometimes that hurts, because you do a lot of work behind the scenes. As Barry said, you're not just looking after the match day, you're looking after the whole club. Like, you're managing the committee, the players, everything. Yeah. There's all sorts that goes on. And for me, I get as much pride out of changing reputations and building a reputation as much as I do winning the games of football. And a positive reputation, because that's just as important. We look at these big football clubs, these big institutes like Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. They stand for a certain number of values, and at the end of the day, those are just as important than winning the 3 points on the Saturday. Yeah, because if you don't, we've seen that with the Super League, and obviously I don't want to open that can of worms. But the point is, we saw the backlash that could cause.
Yeah.
But Sam, how is Ash doing? How, the last 5 years, how has the team been doing? where have you finished on the league table?
He's frozen on us.
He's frozen. Frozen.
He's frozen.
You sure it's frozen? He doesn't want to answer the question.
He's frozen, Dada. That's why.
Okay. Okay. Well, you know. All right.
I'll
Well,
let him have that.
yeah. And you know what, Mo? I know that your back was against the wall, but you know what? Yeah.
Look at that white boy dance.
Mo, I've got your back. I've got your back. I've got your back. So, all right. So let's kind of talk about refereeing. Wow. Again,
wow.
This that could be a show in itself, but let's try and cut it down. Nana, how have you seen? And again, we have spoken about this on on the show. Refereeing. Do you think there's enough quality referees at non-league and grassroots level?
Yes, 100%.
Really?
Huh?
Yeah, very very few and far between, but 100%. There's quality refs out there. I know.
Yeah, but okay. Oh, all right. Now, give me the percentage.
I cannot give you that. I don't know every referee. Don't ask me what question.
Nana, come, Nana. You have refereed and you've played. So and again, like I'm kind of looking at you as the referee on this panel.
But if you're telling me to give you the percentage of quality referees, that's a very wet question.
Why is it?
Rough idea. Rough idea, man.
There you go.
Okay, so right, I'll make it very small for you. So one of the leagues I referee on is the Woolwich and Eltham League. Yeah.
Okay.
And if we have a panel of say 60 referees, for example, I would say 15 are top quality referees.
15 out of the 60.
Yes.
Top quality referees.
Yep. And then I'm not saying the other 45 are bad referees. They're decent referees. I'm talking about top quality referees. Jamal used to be in the Woolwich and Eltham League. I think he's still on the board. There's quite a few people there who are level 4s. Top quality referees for grassroots level. They do combined counties. They do the Scaffold leagues. Decent, very, very decent referees. So to answer your questions, yes, there are some around. I think I see where this question is getting to in terms of how people perceive referees right now. There's always not good enough.
I mean, I think personally, I think any kind of questions that we will ask you, Nana, and again, I'm actually glad that you're wearing your refereeing, kit. And again, this is not a loaded question. We're not going after refs. We just want to say, and again, Nana, you played in our cup final, and
yep.
Hey, again,
I know where this is going.
No, well, hey, you know what? We are kind of talking about a cup final that can make or break a club, a player's season, etc. Do I think that referee was?
Hey, so brief. Referee was shit. Period. Hear me out. The reason why, when I. You know me, I'll answer frankly.
Yeah.
I'll answer honestly. That's why I specifically chose the Woolwich and Eltham League. Now, for the Southern West League, I've played in the league and I've refereed in the league for about 4 years now. And what happens is, in these prestigious competitions, from the preliminary stages, you get good young referees, quality referees officiating, doing what they can, getting the standard of competition really, really high. But when it gets to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals, then you've got referees put in place. No disrespect to them, but they're like 55, 60, can hardly move, and they are pointed into the middle of these competitions. I've spoken about this for a while. That's wrong. That's just wrong. If a referee is 55, 60, and he has the physical capability to do the 90 minutes and do a job, hands up to them. Fair play. Let them do the job. But as a player, if a referee wants to give a penalty when he's drawn a circle around the halfway line and he's standing there and giving a decision over there, what's the credibility in that?
Okay.
He has to be able to move there and say, "Oh, I'm right here, so I saw this. So I'm selling it because I'm right there and I saw it."
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what has happened. Listen, last year, 2 years ago, because last year, COVID, 2 years ago, I had to find a referee for the cup final that we played in. You see how bad that is? This is a cup final. If Jamal is organizing a competition, you won't have any of this nonsense. You've seen the quality of officiating in the London Cup. You cannot tell me that the officiating was poor. All the games I've watched, all the games I've been to, the man in the middle, they've been great. Oh, tell me something I don't know. Oh. Okay.
He was mid-flow.
Oh, damn me, that's great. Sorry.
I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that. You know, but this is what I'm saying. You can see the London Cup.
Yeah.
The quality of officiating in the London Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and the quality of officiating in the last 4 stages of the Beckenham Hospital Cup competition. There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. I don't know if it's the appointments are based on. I'm not scared to say. I don't know if it's based on favoritism or who you know. I don't know how those people are appointed, but hey, we have to go there as players. We have to go there and make a spectacle of the whole situation, irrespective, because you are irrespective of what a referee is doing. You are there to win a game. You are there to do what you can, irrespective of the decisions, and win a game. So you do what you can, and hopefully go out with the 3 points every single time.
Emeka, so what do you think about the levels of refereeing in the league that you guys are playing in?
I mean, I can only really chat about the league I play in combined counties. It's not great, if I'm completely honest. I can't think of one good referee that I've had. I think the main thing for me is referees should be in the background of the game. But I think some referees really love to kind of insert themselves in the middle of the game and make the game all about them, which I don't really like. Let's kind of just make decisions that are just odd, just really odd. And I think for me as a player, I just want to go and play football to enjoy the game. I do feel sometimes referees can take that away. They have so much power that they can actually take away the enjoyment for players. And they brought in this whole respect scheme. I think the main thing for me, which doesn't make me enjoy referees, is that they don't talk to me with respect, and then they expect me to give them respect. But I appreciate they're in a level of power, but at the same time, we're human beings as well. Like, you can't chat to players in a certain way and expect them to chat to you with respect, and they start to complain about respect, blah, 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 and that you don't have good referees in the game because players don't respect them. But I think it does need to go 2 ways.
Yeah. And like Mo, I mean, what's like your opinion about referees at grassroots or non-league level?
Well, yeah, I'll speak for grassroots in terms of my playing background and coaching background. Well, again, what some have sort of alluded to previously. It's a tough one because, some games you could get referees who want to let the game flow. You would get some referees who may want to stamp their authority on the game and then, make it all about them. You get some referees who may give one decision to the opposition, but then maybe not give you and your teammates, they're the sort of similar sort of decision. Some referees who can let the game get out of hand in terms of the to and fro or the physical tackles, the high tackles, and once you let one or two go and the referee doesn't yellow card, red card, then tackles are going to be fine in left, right, and centre. So for me, I'd want a referee who will stamp their authority on the game, and if you're going to do a tackle that warrants a yellow card, yellow card. A tackle that warrants a red card. If there's a dissent, sin bin, rather than letting dissent happen, letting tackles fly in, and you're not handing out sin bins, you're not handing out yellow cards, but then you may be that player who, or the teammate or the opposition who you may do one foul 60, 70 minutes into the game, and you're going to get the red card or yellow card. But then there's been many, many fouls before the game. So that's my sort of experience of playing and coaching. A referee, it takes a lot of, I'm sure Nana takes a lot of, he's probably done a lot of hard work to get his referee qualification and then move and then sort of move. I don't know how it works in terms of levels of referee, but I'm sure he's grasped really well to get to the level where he's at, to proudly wear his FA jumper. But it is what it is, because then you're saying, like what Anna was saying, you can get some young up and coming referees, but then you can get some old style command style referees. So it's like chalk and cheese, isn't it, really? But without referees, you can't play the game, right?
100%.
So we just got to get on with it and just try and adapt how we play. Maybe, I don't know. As footballers, maybe.
Yeah. Could I add a little bit to what both Emeka and Mo are saying? So you're talking about match control, and like I said earlier on in the show, it's about man management, and it's not an easy thing to do. So when it comes to Emeka, talking about respect being a two-way street, you and I know, because I'm a player, and we give it to the referees. Players, I did a game this morning. There was a red card in the game for a substitute. And when he was a captain, when he was playing for the first 25 minutes, he's questioning every decision you're making, getting your ear all the time. Eventually, he was substituted because he was playing rather poor. He went behind my AR, assistant referee, and started giving to him, swearing. So it was causing distractions to the game. So when I came, when he flagged me down and I came to try and calm the situation down, then what are you coming to do? Are you effing crazy? I sent him on straight away. I didn't even have time to sit down and explain. But you and I know that they give it to the referees bad, really, really bad. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is people don't want to be referees anymore. There's very few. When you go to the courses of the referees and the people that they let through, it's almost as if they have to lower the standard of refereeing to get people through, because nobody wants to be a referee anymore. It's not worth the abuse that they get on a Saturday. There's no amount of money really that will be worth the amount of abuse that you get on a Saturday. It takes a very mature person to go out there and manage 22 grown men on the pitch who are given to you large. You understand? It takes some sort of emotional IQ to manage those situations. So you have to bear with the fact that there's not a lot of referees around, and they are doing the best that they can. So what I think happening is they chuck them in there. Those who have potential, those who are decent, they chuck them in there to learn on the job. Some referees are 18 years old, and they're in the best league. And grown men, ex-pros, talking all sorts of nonsense to this 18-year-old. The pressure alone that he feels. Players have to understand that they are young, they are doing a job. They need to let them get on with their job. But and I know it doesn't happen on a Saturday. They don't make mistakes.
Let
Maybe
me ask
under pressure.
Let me ask you a question then. Because you
Go
were
on.
saying that that player earlier on was a captain. I might be talking from a place of ignorance, but I thought when they changed the rules about respect and whatnot, that the captain can chat to the referee. If he's
Respectfully.
if he's respectfully saying to you and he's questioning your decision, this is what I don't like about referees. I can question your decision. If I'm not sweating, then I question.
So here it is. I know where you're going. Here it is. So
many referees get their back
questioning my decision.
Someone questioning your decision.
No. Question my decision.
On two sides. Someone's not going to like your decision. As a referee, when you enter that pitch, you must know. Okay,
that's
if I call a decision,
absolutely fine.
Someone's not going to like it. As long as they say it to me in a respectful manner, just get on with the game. Don't
keyword
to him.
Keyword respectfully.
And expect him to be respectful to you after that, because he's not going to. Because if that was on the street and you spoke to someone in a disrespectful manner when they spoke to you respectfully,
exactly,
chat shit get banged. You know how it is. So I don't
exactly
that they can do that on the pitch, and because they're wearing black, they're all good. That's not how it works.
Emeka, you are saying, I mean, you're preaching to the choir. This is exactly what I mean. So this game in particular, for example, are you effing blind? Did you not see that? This is for the captain. And you said the key word is respectfully. That is why I take that minute or two out from the beginning of the game and set my stall. I'm not here to take any sort of abuse. No. Again, if it's been going wrong, then I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be getting cup finals. Because they don't just put anybody in cup final. You see what I'm saying?
As a player, I'll tell you, we don't listen when you talk. So don't do that.
Oh, it works. Trust me, it works. So this player, for example, today, are you effing blind? What are you doing? You're effing joke.
Okay, and you do.
And I called the player in. I called the player and said, mate, you're a captain. Set a better example for your players. It's clearly gone there. It's a clear foul. It's a clear throwing. Get on with it. Stop mourning, because you're going to set a sort of standard for everybody to follow. And besides, you're wearing the armband, so let's calm it down. This is what I tell him.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever, and then it goes away. It gets up to you, and it goes behind the AR. What? Do you need a pair of glasses? You don't deserve the money that's being paid you. And swearing.
Relax, Nana. Relax.
I'm very relaxed, but I'm saying that. For example, what if I wasn't the man I am? What if I was 18 years old?
Yeah.
Fresh out of the academy and or the referee course and doing this league game. What if I was like that? That is not how you get the best out of referees. Without a referee, the game doesn't carry on. So players need to watch what they say. Respectfully, everybody would answer your questions. You will not. I tell him, you will not tell me that on the street when you see me. Okay. So why do you think that it's okay to tell me that here? Because I'm wearing this shirt. I'm not the one.
Coach.
I'm not the
one. Coach and Barry. Coach.
I'm not the one.
What I found interesting what Nana said, because there's like a major shortage of referees, they're just letting people come through the system, which is going to lower the standard of the game in the referee.
Yeah.
Our level, we don't get we rarely get good refs at youth grassroots level. And then when we do get good refs, they seem to just disappear after a while at that level, and they're gone very quickly. But the standard of reffing has gone, it's been low for years now, to be honest. It's been very low. It's very
full. Just question, Barry. So you see for your youth section, the youth section, what ages are the referees that get allocated for your youth players?
The referees have got to be at least 2 years above the age group they're refereeing.
Right, okay.
But what happens in all football, I say wrong, some referees get put into games where they know it's going to be a volatile game. That referee cannot control that game. So I don't know why he gets appointed that game.
There's probably no referee for the game, Barry.
Sorry.
That's what I need you to understand. The people listen, the league secretaries are looking to fill the games because there's no other referees. These referees who you think are decent, they are being taken by the scaffold, the combined counties. They are going there being ARs and sometimes in the middle. I know level 5s and level 6s who sometimes get to do a middle in the scaffold combined counties. It's usually a level 4. You see what I'm saying? I've done a middle before.
No. What I'm trying to say to you, you can't blame teams and managers if we're telling the referee you're shit. If you're shit ref. And you'll be told that you're a shit ref. You can't take it home and take it personal.
Yeah.
So
Nana, basically,
everyone here's told the referee shit. You can't tell them that
basically,
making bad decisions throughout the game. The game might mean something to us, and you're officiating the game so badly. I'm going to tell you your shit.
So you rather have a game without a referee than have a shit referee. That's what you're saying?
Of course, sometimes we've lost massive games because of referees and officials. We've lost massive games because of that. Shit referee, shit linesman. Make the game do it properly. I've gone to cup finals with 4-4 standing referees, and we can't believe it. How is this tied? We've had referees at the stand, not a circle. It's like it's a fishbowl for them. They can't come up that little circle area.
I agree.
Yeah,
they're not fit enough. They're refereeing a top level game where it's back and forward, and they can't keep up with the game. So they're making decisions from 40 yards away. And we're saying tonight, why is this guy refereeing the game? He's just guessing decisions. Linesmen ain't really helping him. It's bad. It's really, and it's very dangerous sometimes because, like Dom said, the games can get very volatile if you've got a bad ref, and he starts letting things go. And you see
True, Gary. But I mentioned it from the beginning.
I'm not blaming the refs. I just think something needs to be done. I don't know at what level, how, because I don't know much about officiating, but I know something needs to be done to get the quality better. And the referees need more help, more guidelines, and more teaching. From both sides, we've got to help each other. I'm not just saying
like mentors, like referee mentors
to make it a better game. We have to help each other. I think, but some refs, like you just said, Nana, it sounds like what that guy said to you, you've taken it home. Get rid of it. It's over. Deal with the president.
No. I'm sure, man.
It's so true. So
no, listen, Gary, I've shown my cards. I've done my report already. It's done. But I just wanted to share with you.
Okay.
What happens? It's a huge shortage of referees. Let's not deny that fact. There's a huge shortage of referees. Nobody wants to referee anymore. So the decent referees are going higher, and the newer ones are coming through, and they are learning on the job. When I referee, when I qualified, I was meant to have some referee developers to work with me to aid my development.
Relax, Nana.
I didn't get that.
Let me ask you something. You're refereeing. You know the refereeing system. You're just talking about how can it be changed to make it better. Let's talk about going forward. From your point of view as a ref, how can it be improved? Tell me something positive. I'm just saying negative.
Actually, Nana, before you answer that question, and again, that's kind of good question from Coach Barry. I would love to hear Sam's POV regarding referees at non-league level. Oh gosh.
Oh, that body.
So Nana, could you kind of answer Coach Barry's question?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic question. And the difference between back in the day and now is that you had policemen, people in higher authority, having referees as their second job. So people already respected them. They commanded some sort of respect.
You're right.
They start in school, in the classroom for like 6 weeks before they qualified to be a referee. Now, you can be a referee within a weekend.
A weekend?
Okay. Yeah, within a week. Yeah, if they do that fast track course, say two full days, you can be a referee.
Gee.
Because they go through the laws of the game with you, they do some outdoor work with you, and then you have to go out and do 5 games with supervision. They mark you and so on and so forth. when I qualified, I was meant to get a referee developer to help aid in my development. I didn't get any, so I was
And
just chucked right into the deep end to learn on the job, basically.
and
I,
so,
I was
so
lucky because because I played and the game a little better.
sorry,
That's the difference between then and now.
sorry, Nana. How long have you been a referee?
6 years now, I believe.
Okay.
Okay.
6 years now, and I think, and again, I'm going back to the shorter referees. So, if you in my course, back in the day, there was like 50 people in one course. In my course now, there was like 10, 12 people.
Now, how long was that course back then?
I think it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks or 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
But
2 weeks in the weekends.
Oh,
Full days.
Now you skipped over that quickly, and I can't get my head around. How can you become qualified in 2 days to be a ref?
No.
That sounds how?
2 weeks. It is, see,
You said 2 days.
again, I think what's happening is the FA think or believe that people get into referees now. A lot of people know football, they understand football, so guide them through the right path in terms of the application of the laws of the game. Everybody watches football right now on TV, so they have a very fair. If they're into football, they have a very fair idea of football. So guide them into the application of the laws of the game, and let them get the experience on the pitch by marking them for the first 5 games.
Yeah.
However, it's even very difficult for them to get the developers, the observations in. Like I said, I didn't get any for the first 5 games. I submitted my the first 5 games. I didn't get any. But so it's a lot different from, say, if Emeka you play, or all of us here have played football at some point. So you can spot a foul. You can see people's body language when something is happening, as opposed to somebody who hasn't played a day of football in their life. They've gone to sit in the classroom, read a book which says law 1, law 2, law 3. It's entirely different from the actual application of the laws of the game in an actual game. And that's where sometimes, don't get me wrong, some of them tend to be very good referees.
So
but
what would you
some of them are,
change? What would you change?
again, like I said, it's a very difficult question. I think we need more referee developers in the game, especially the people who are coming out of the referee courses, to guide them fully into the first 10 games and aid their development down the promotion ladders, so that they get better as they go. There's something called the promotion scheme, and you observe 2 or 3 games, or 6 games in a season. Sometimes you don't get all the observations, and this is because there are not a lot of observers out there to do the job, because the observers are also active referees. So Saturday and Sunday, they also need to go and do a game, and they're probably being paid like what, £14 or £15 to come and observe you for an hour and a half.
And
I think some more money needs to be put into grassroots football, into actually developing referees, to support the observers into observing these referees, to guide them down that path, so that when the higher they go, the better they get. Because right now, what is happening is a lot of people are being thrown into the deep end of refereeing when they qualify, because it's a test that you have to do. The physical test and the classroom test. If you pass it, you've passed. You're a referee. But actually applying, understanding, the laws of the game and interpreting them on the field of play are entirely different things. And you need guidance along that path to go to get where you want to get.
Okay, Nana. So, what are your aspirations regarding being a referee? Let's say in the next 2-3 years, like what's?
I'm looking to get the level 4 jersey, and then tell them, "Yep, I've been there, done that. You can have it."
So then,
because where I am right now, I'm not looking to go to the Premier League or non-league or anything. No, that's not me. I'm too old for that now. The higher you go, the more difficult it is in terms of choosing where you want to referee on the type of games. So I'm a referee level 5 right now. I can choose any league I want and go and referee on there. But if I go to level 4, I have to commit my Saturdays to like the combined counties, the scaffold leagues, be on the lines every Saturday. They can tell me, okay, you have this game, FFAs, you have this game in Namhead, you need to go. I have no choice because if I make myself available, if I don't close my days, I have to go.
Okay.
But as a level 5, I can say no, thank you. I can join the Woolwich and Eltham League. I can referee any game I want in London, across the country, any game, anywhere. But as the higher you go, the more of like a career path. So the FA and the LFA have a lot more control of you. The higher you go. And I'm not, especially with little children, I just don't have the time to be able to offer. So yep, I'll be, because level 4 you have to do, it's the only level that you have to, and higher is when you have to do a fitness test.
Mo, I will pay you to get Nana in terms of any type of
How
shit.
long were you waiting to say that? How long were you waiting to say that?
Mo, where are you based? Where are you based, Mo?
Yeah, so I'm based out in Kent, but originally from South East London.
Okay.
And again, with the kind of referees that I've watched and I've played with, it's the ones that just have common sense. And I think Nana hit the nail right on the head. It's like people that know the game and just have just basic common sense. Know like when it's a foul, and know when a player is getting a bit agitated, and know how to just calm down the situation. And those like at the refs that I every time there's a good official, I always go to them and say, look, like, you were really, really good, because again, we all shake the opponent's hand and say, strike a great game, or goalkeeper. But I always make an effort and actually say, referee, like, you literally officiated this game really, really well, because again, that goes a long way for that person as well. Like, they can kind of go home and say,
100%.
you know what? Yeah, they can go home and say, you know
100%.
what? This person said I officiated really, really well. Oh, you know what? I've literally really enjoyed my Saturday. I've enjoyed my Sunday. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of really, really, really vital that we kind of respect our officials. We respect our referees. And again, exactly what Emeka said, it swings both ways. It definitely, swing both ways. But yeah, hey, without referees, there's no Sunday league, Saturday league, grassroots football. So we have to do exactly what we have to do.
In your opinion, Tabriz, so the games that you've seen me do, if for LSU, or what would you say?
No,
I'm open the floor for you.
Yeah.
No, crucify me if you may.
No, and come on, Nana, you and I, like we are so honest with each other, and I'm gonna say this live. Nana is a really good referee. Honestly, like, he's a really good referee. Yes, he brings people in before the game starts, and he has his 2-minute speech. Cool, like, and again, we all laugh and giggle, but you know what? I see what he's doing, and honestly, like, Nana lets the game flow. He will speak to you if he has to, and again, put it this way: Nana refereed the independent LSU B game, and again, just a kind of short history. So, the independent vets, as in like the players, we were formerly from the LSU brand. So then, we kind of separate from LSU and we joined, independent. Independent and LSU are in the same division, and Nana refereed that game. And everyone knew that Nana is affiliated with Independent. But honestly, Nana refereed that game. It was literally top notch. I swear down to you, 10 out of 10. There was no arguing, there was no bickering. Nana gave LSU a foul. No, actually, it was a penalty, and it was blatantly a penalty. But I know a lot of referees would not have given that. So yeah. And again, that's not me blowing smoke up Nana's ass or anything else like that. Like, Nana is a really good.
Oh, hang on. Nothing goes up my ass. Nothing. Hang on. Let's get that straight. Thanks for the compliment, but yeah, you gone too far, big.
Dear.
You gone too far.
Dear. You're not.
Keep it
Yeah.
PG,
No.
to breathe. Keep it PG, man.
No, but again, I can, I can kind of see where, like, Nana's intelligence and his kind of common sense, honestly, like, it kind of just brings just like a lot of calm. And again, that LSU independent game could have gone left. Like, it could have been really, really aggressive. That could have been sendings off. There could have been yellow cards. But hey, you know what? It was a great game. It was a great game. And again, I would kind of say, a quarter of that, or probably even more like than a quarter, was like because of Nana's officiating. So well done, Nana.
Thank you, Tabriz.
All righty. So let's kind of go on to, hey, any other business. And again, like, we're going to keep this short and sweet, probably about 10, 15 minutes. I'm like guessing people probably want to talk about the Euros. Coach, have you been watching the Euros?
Not much of it, sorry. I'm not a good person to ask. I haven't seen much of the game. All I've seen is mainly it's true. I've just seen mainly highlights. I haven't watched and I hate analysing games of highlights because it's someone else who's structured and edited, so you can't really tell how the whole game went.
I can tell you in a few words, Coach, it's not coming home.
Oh.
Okay.
I've heard.
Right, Mo, I mean, like, what's your opinion of the Euros so far?
Yeah, after waiting a year to watch it and for it to be played, from my opinion, I think it's a bit sluggish. I think all the countries are they're not all 100%, and games are like 1-0, 2-1. It's not really that like a high score. I don't know if there's been a high scoring game. Anyone quote me if I'm wrong.
4-2, wasn't it? 4-2.
Pardon?
Portugal 2, Germany 4.
Yeah, but Germany sort of ran away with it, didn't they? And then Portugal came back.
So, who you think's going to win it, Mo?
France. Obviously, before that, I'm going to back England all the way. You have to.
Are you something?
Well, you have to. But then in terms of
don't use your heart here. Use your head.
France. I think they've got a point there. They've got the European, world champions. So they're carrying that, and then can they go and do the Euros? But I just feel it's not as high tempo and as engaging. A bit like Barry, I think it's a case of I don't think I can sit and watch a full 90 minutes of a game and be engaged, opposed to just watching 6-7 minutes of a highlight. So I find, there's some games where I'm like, am I going to sit through and watch? I think it's just because obviously the season we had, the COVID season, off the back of that, I just think it's not as hyped. It's not really. I don't think it's as hyped as what it should be. I don't know why. But yeah, France's result yesterday was a bit, I think anyone can beat anyone in this Euros. Before, years gone by, you would go, right, this team would beat that team. This team would beat that team, but anyone can beat anyone, I think. And I think off the back of the COVID season, that's why this is,
Okay. And Emeka, like, how have like you seen the quality of the Euros so far?
I mean, I just don't really like tournament football in general. If I'm honest, I feel tournament football just reminds me of the back end of a Premier League season, where when teams are playing for certain results, it's very hard, like Mo was saying, to have an entertaining game. In tournament football, it's more about not losing than it is winning the game.
Yeah.
I remember the thing that I hate, for me, that I'm half Nigerian, half English. You know what? I prefer to tell people I'm Nigerian because English media, when it comes to football, everyone just thinks that like England, like the next best thing, and honestly, they're not. And Southgate was never going to be a manager with all the attacking talent that he has. For me, England's worst part of the team is in defence. So if I can't defend and I've got all this attacking talent, I'm like, you know what, let's try and score more than the rest of the team. We might not win, we're going to have an entertaining time, entertain the country. And he hasn't. He tries to play such defensive football, and it's not enjoyable to watch. And like you saw against Scotland, it's hard to get a result when you're going into a game like not trying to lose.
Why did Mecca?
Yeah.
I heard that he played 2 holding midfielders in that game.
I know, against a team like not.
4 at the back and 2 holding mid.
Let me not disrespect.
But he did that against Croatia.
I know. Again, let me not disrespect Croatia.
But why are you playing that formation with the talent he's got there?
Yeah, Phillips is a box to box. Box to box.
Okay.
Rice is the holder.
I get that, but it's. I feel you could just play. You could have went with a more attacking formation against such teams. For me, the group that England are in isn't tough at all. I watched Wales play against Italy today, and if you go through there's players in the Wales team I don't even know who they play for. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
And even they had to go against Italy, and Italy any team that England have played. If I'm the England manager, I'm playing against Croatia and I don't know who it was, Scotland. Just have a go.
Yeah.
You got Sancho hasn't played a minute. You got all of these attacking players.
Yeah, that one I don't understand that one, to be honest.
Just have a go at Scotland. How you honestly draw a 0-0 with Scotland? I speak like
no, but you have to. You got to think about Scotland. Have they're they qualified in the end of the day. So it's not Scotland. Billy Gilmore. Again, people haven't been rating him because he hasn't got a lot of game time, but he's a player.
Mo, they are ranked the third worst in this competition. So I don't know what you're talking about. They qualified.
How come England didn't beat them?
That's what we're saying. England are punts.
It's not about England.
England, yeah.
Played well.
Italy beat them 1-0.
Scotland could have got a goal if not for reaching off the line. You're forgetting that.
I understand it's a derby. I understand it's a derby and all that. It feels like a derby and all that. But like Emeka was saying, with the quality of players, especially in attacking sense that England have, and the tactics that they're using now, it's just.
But Gareth doesn't know what to do, does he?
To watch England play, I don't. Let's put it this way. I'd rather watch something else other than England playing at the moment.
Okay, but right. If England go and beat Czech Republic, everyone will forget about the Scotland game because this is
that's the English for you. But we're talking about analyzing football right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the English. That's the English for you. But I'm saying that we here talking and analyzing football. Yeah. You and I know that the attacking threat that England has.
Yeah.
And the kind of football that we are playing right now. It's absolute pants.
Yeah.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down in the way that I look at it, right? They're all talking about the Euros. I think they're saying it's going to bring in like 2 billion to the UK economy. I was watching the Wales game with my friend and his girlfriend today. And I thought, you've been watching the football to this girl. And she's like, nah, it's boring. And the first game that she said that she watched was the game on Friday. Everyone told her, oh my God, we're playing Scotland. The atmosphere is going to be real. And she watched it and she said it was boring. She don't want to watch the football because she watches England and it's not enjoyable to watch. And I feel you go even back to the 2018 World Cup. I appreciate England got to the semi-final. So many set pieces were scored. I called England set piece FC. All you were doing was scoring free kicks and corners. For me, did not play well. The fact they got to a semi-final was just papering over cracks. England did not play well. And this Euros is just the same as the 2018 World Cup for me. The only chance England had the other night was that header from Stones from a corner. Don't create any chances, no creativity. Like, just don't play with any passion to actually try and win a game. And I don't know how you're trying to get a country with passion when you're playing such boring football. I don't get it.
Mecca.
So is it time for Southgate to go now? Has the cycle finished for Southgate? Is it someone to bring someone in now?
Mo, he shouldn't have got the job. Don't you remember him as under 21 manager? He was terrible as England under 21 manager.
England under 21 they've just got an issue, England under 21, because they've got so much talent at their disposal. That one's a different one as well.
He was terrible. He wasted all that talent there. So how does he get the senior job? I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
progression up the ranks. It goes back to the first question earlier in the podcast. ex-pros, getting high jobs.
Yeah,
It's a progression, isn't it?
Back to the England job, Mo. England job.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, like Owen said it maybe an hour ago, like story of life. It's like not what you know, it's who you know, and kind of getting like all of these top jobs. And hey, you know what? England are not out. Yes, Sancho and Grealish haven't really played. Kane looked a little bit leggy, but they're still thereabouts. They're still one of the favorites. Yes, I totally agree.
Whoa.
They are. You know what?
That's not.
But with the Euro, I think anyone can.
That's not.
It's anyone's Euro to win.
100%. Yeah, I mean, but you see, I think what it is, and I can kind of only speak on like my kind of own kind of personal experience. I think it's a little bit of a football overload. We've not really had time to breathe and to miss it, and it's literally just been, it's just been a domino effect. Grassroots, finals, Premiership, and then now it's the Euros, and then I think next year it's the World Cup again. So we've not had a chance to actually miss it and think, okay, you know what, let's kind of analyze this team and like things like that. And I think now football, especially at the elite stage, is now becoming more of a kind of entertainment spectacle rather than just watching like a team win or lose now, for me, like the best World Cup that I can remember, it was probably the like US World Cup and also the World Cup that was in South Africa, because it just had
2010.
Like that was amazing. And again, that was a spectacle. It was an event. It had everything. And I think with like this one, they've just tried to shoehorn just a lot of stuff in, and it just hasn't. It just hasn't worked. Hey Sam, how you doing?
I'm back. I'm so sorry. I'm living in like the middle of nowhere. Obviously, I've got nothing happening for me over here at the minute. But I've got it going. I've seen some of you.
Are you in a caravan?
You were talking about. I am the cameraman at the minute. It's going to be dreadful. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm saying, are you in a caravan or something?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, just living in the heaps, like just living it up, basically.
Great stuff. But I mean, what is like your opinion about the Euros so far, Sam?
I saw what Mex has just said. Actually, I was watching it live just before I've managed to actually get the screen going again. I've loved it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've absolutely loved the tournament. I've really enjoyed it. I think the way the games have been played has been good. There's been some dull games. So you're not going to get every game's going to be exciting. I'm going to accept that first of all. But I think it's been great. Like I say, watching Italy, I think Italy have been superb so far. I've liked the way that the Netherlands have gone about it. I know they were described the other day as an under-9s team, but what a load of fun they are. Trying to attack the game. It's quite fun to watch, though, isn't it? Not bad watching 3 or 4 goals go in the net. For me, I think it's been great. I think there's been a real balance in the way the teams have played. My description of the tournament, though, is a counter-pressing tournament. Whoever counter-presses the best in this tournament, for me, is going to win it. I think the Italians are showing the way at the moment. I'm not saying they're winning it, though. I'm still sticking to the safe option of France. I think France's strength and depth is there for all to see. Obviously, it was a weird result the other day, but has any team ever won a tournament by winning every game? It's very rare that happens in any World Cup, Copa America, Euros. So it's very rare to see these teams progress going without dropping a point or not winning every game. So from my point of view, France are the team to beat. But it's been exciting. I've enjoyed it. I think, like I say, some young talent on show. I think the home nations are doing okay. Like Wales have obviously qualified today in second. What an achievement for that squad, which is a lot of experience and a lot of youth, not a lot in between. So impressive in a difficult group.
Qualified before England.
Yeah, exactly. And look, the thing is with England, I saw your discussion on that. I think to be honest with you, let's give Scotland some credit as well. I think not a lot of people are talking about actually how much they put into that game. And I think for Scotland, it's their World Cup final. It is. Like you ask any Scot, you don't qualify, but you beat England. I'm telling you now, they're biting your hand off to beat England. And
Yeah.
England didn't play well. I'm not sitting here going to say England played well. I don't think they did. Do they need to improve to win this tournament? Absolutely. But what Southgate has always shown to me as a coach, he's looking at the process. It's not just about picking the best players. It's not just about, we go full on attack and losing the balance of his team. He's thinking about it. Yeah, we could argue he got Friday wrong, but actually after Saturday, everyone said he got it bang on the money and said he was a genius. Trippier left back. What a stroke of genius that was.
Yeah,
So I think we need to be very careful. Do I think England will win the tournament? No. I'm not going to sit here and say they are. As much as that hurts to say, I don't think they'll win the tournament. But God, look at the quality we have. I think it's the best England squad I've seen in my lifetime. And actually, it's exciting. I think the England DNA that the FA rolled out after we got humiliated in not qualifying for the Euros has really started to take effect. And I think, Mo, Barry, you would know that from your coaching background. How much that DNA has changed the way English football looks. And you look at
the way we coach.
Yeah, absolutely. You
But
look
I
at
said,
players like Jadon Sancho, Mason Mount. Sorry, Barry.
What I'm going to say to you, Sam, I was saying on a podcast before, like, what the Germans do when they have a really talented young squad, they don't mind losing a tournament. They'll play all the young players in a tournament to give them that experience. And they'll come back 2-4 years later and beat everyone. The Germans always play that young talent, give them that experience, and they come back and just wipe the floor with all the other countries. I don't know if England will take, I don't know if we do, as England, they're going to do that as a country.
I think we can do it. I think we're starting to do it. I think it's interesting. You see a lot of the players now coming through the system. So they're coming through the under-18s, the under-20s, the 21s, getting into the first team. I saw your discussion about Gareth Southgate having the under-21s job previously. Germany have traditionally done that with Joachim Low and other managers before him.
I love Jude Bellingham. I love Jude Bellingham. I think he's a talent that England should not waste. He's a special talent.
He is, and you watch him in the Bundesliga. He's a natural box-to-box.
Oh yeah,
we've all seen it. Like we've
how many types of Jude Bellingham have we seen though?
What do you mean?
How many? In terms of Jack Wilshere or Ramsey, they come through the system.
You can't compare Jude to Jack.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying the young talent coming through the system.
I understand, Nana. I understand what you're saying. Because Jack Wilshere was picked to be the next thing, wasn't he? He was picked, wasn't he?
Well, I mean, I could,
go on. Sorry.
I literally, I think the only player that I know that I believe, if like he was in his prime, or if he was probably 21, 22, 23, within this era, would be an absolute world beater, would be Joe Cole. I think Joe Cole in this era, this literally suits Joe Cole's era. Ability 100%. I think, and again, Mo and Coach Barry and Coach Sam, you guys probably can testify to say any player that's got any like sort of skill like about them, we kind of want to train it out of them and just say, let's kind of used to kind of go long. Let's kind of like look at your teammate first rather than having that ability to actually beat someone and actually use your pace or kind of use the trickery. And I think now with kind of Gareth Southgate, he's kind of allowing people like Sterling and Foden to kind of express themselves a little bit more. And yes, they will make mistakes. But I mean, I think it's kind of down to us as fans, as football fans, just to kind of let these players make those type of mistakes.
I don't think the two centre backs, Stones is all right. Means we can't. England don't build well from the back and play through. They're trying to play through teams that are not good enough. That's my opinion. They're not good enough to play through. That little Billy Gilmore showed that.
Yeah,
I think
top player. He's a top player.
I think what I want to say is more that in tournament football, especially in this tournament, where you're lucky enough that most of the third place teams are going to go through, after you've won that first game, you're pretty much through. If I'm England, who's one of the favourites, and I'm playing against Scotland, the whole country's up for it. when you get through to the last 16, if you want to play pragmatic football at that stage, cool. But at this point, you're playing Scotland, you're going to play Czech Republic. Let's play players like Sancho and all these exciting players. Give him a chance, because ultimately, if he's not going to play them now against Scotland, if you're playing France's, Portugal later down the line, ultimately he's not going to play them. He's going to play even more defensive, and he's not going to play those players. This is the perfect time to play them, get some excitement going. If you want people to be watching the games, going to be drawing 0-0 with Scotland, and the only chance you're going to make is from a set piece. All these neutral fans who aren't really into football aren't going to watch it. Okay, yeah, England in the semi-final, quarter-final, who cares? We watch you against Scotland, you cannot win. Why am I going to watch you play against France or whatnot?
I get what you're saying, mate. I get what you're saying, but we spoke about this earlier. You've got to win games. And like I said, we've already seen the uproar. We've drawn to Scotland. We didn't even lose the game. And look at the backlash that Southgate has got. Like if he plays, a lot of people have said to me, I'll play Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish, and play Mason Mount, and play Phil Foden. You can't. You've got to have a balance in your team. You've got to have pace on one side. You've got to have craft on the other. You've got, obviously, Harry Kane as the holder. You can't play all of them, because all it becomes is just playing in front of the opposition. And we've seen what's happened to Spain. If you want to see an example of a team playing a lot of very good technical footballers in tight spaces, but lacking that final end product, Spain are a good example of that at the moment. And they're in bigger trouble than England. Like, the guy who scored the goal for England, as much as it's controversial, is Raheem Sterling. Well, the reason he scored the goal is he made a run in behind for someone like Calvin Phillips to feed him. Like, I know Raheem Sterling's been frustrating in terms of his end product, but he will get in the positions to make something happen. That's that. We've got to have that balance. And I think as fans, we want to see England win 4-5, 6-0 every game. The harsh reality is we're not going to do that. We're not going to win 4-5, 6-0 every game. We're not going to win every game convincingly.
Sam, do you think what the Southgate knows what's his strongest 11? No. And do you think he knows what his strongest formation is?
No, I don't. And I think he's made that harder for himself. In terms of, it was quite noticeable in the build-up to this tournament. Any team ranked in the top 10, he played that 3-5-2, which is why there was all that speculation about the Croatia game. Top nation, been to the World Cup finalist. He's probably going to play the 3-5-2. Obviously, he didn't do that. He chose not to, because obviously he looked to the Croatia side and felt, well, actually, we're probably better than them, so let's go at them with a 4-3-3 and play more attacking players. So actually, I think the answer to that is no, and I think he's fighting for the balance in his team. But I think he will find that. I think he's got a process, and I think he's looking at it more from like an Olympian point of view. Where at the Olympics, if you look at our cyclists, they tend to win the Olympic gold medal, but they don't win the Worlds because they're building up for that Olympics. That's their pinnacle. And I think Southgate's been on a similar journey with this team. Like, we don't want to peak too soon. Now, I might look like an idiot saying that, and we lose in the last 16, and it's a nightmare. But I think he has got a process, which I think has been more exciting than what we've seen in the past, where we've gone into these tournaments with these great players, but then just never looked like we had an idea what we were doing. It looked like we didn't really have a framework of playing. Whereas with Southgate, I feel like he's got a framework. He just needs to find his strongest team, which is what you're touching on there, Barry.
Yeah. Well, surely his strongest team was the first game, right?
Yeah, you could argue that. I think you could argue that. But again, he's probably looking at the opposition, Mo. We do that as coaches, don't we? Like, where we sometimes look at the opposition and think, oh, actually, Kieran Trippier is a right-footed left-back. In the Croatia game, that suits us because we've got more strength in the middle. Whereas with Scotland, they're going to play a 5 at the back. So actually, if they're playing a back 5, we want to double up on the wide areas.
Flying fullback.
So we need to play with a left-footed fullback to create those options for us. So I think it's hard. I think you've got to look at it in lots of ways. Look, if we look at the England performance, I said about counter-pressing, our counter-press was poor. I don't remember the time in that Scotland game where we kept Scotland penned in to build pressure. And we lack that intensity, which the players mentioned themselves.
But then when you look at, you've got Mount who can press, you've got Sterling, you've got Foden, you've got Phillips from Leeds. You know, you've got the players who can press because they do it in their club side. So that's where we go back to what Fabrice was saying about it's too much football and it's sluggish and it's, you know, rest period, recovery.
So change the team.
And
So change
He
the
he
team.
did.
Ameka,
He changed the
Ameka,
fullback. That's it. That's all he changed.
Ameka.
He changed the fullback.
1 point from 2 games against 2 dead nations. Change up the team. Harry Kane did not need to play that
Croatia,
game.
they're World Cup finalists. Croatia, they beat.
No, I'm not. I'm saying after this. I'm saying so. Scotland and Czech Republic, you need 1 point to go through. So change up the team. I don't know why Harry Kane played the game. Oh, I honestly, I don't know why.
Because he's Harry Kane.
Game at all.
Ameka,
Favorite.
is there any Arsenal players in the squad?
Oh my God! Wow!
Barry, I like this, Barry. Barry, you killer one-liners, Barry.
That's brilliant.
Your headshot.
We got
My goodness.
That's brilliant. That's
Wow, I
brilliant.
was not expecting that one.
Guys, honestly, wow.
Again, if Southgate knew anything, he'll play him as well. Just change it.
All right,
Who?
Kaya Saka.
You know what?
Don't even chat about Saka either. That's good.
He's just there for the numbers. He's there for the numbers.
Saka's a good player, man.
Oh dear, guys. Honestly,
It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you so much. We are now heading into our second hour. So honestly, thank you so much to Emeka, to Mo. Actually, Mo, can you give everyone your Instagram details, please?
Yeah, so it's MO Football Coaching on Instagram. So MO Football Coaching.
Cool.
Yeah.
And like Sam, can you give everyone out there any kind of Instagram, Twitter, YouTube credentials that like you possess?
Yeah, so definitely follow the football club itself. Ash United Football Club are always looking for players who want to grow in the game and get involved in step football. So any players that are looking out there, follow our Instagrams, our Twitters. It's all Ash United FC, very easy to find. And then myself, I'll send them over, and then we can spread them that way because I don't actually know. I'm not going to promote myself at all. It's shocking. I'm embarrassed by this. I've been in and out of a podcast all evening. I don't even know my Instagram credentials.
That's brilliant. You know what? I love your honesty, Sam. I love your honesty. Coach Barry, the founder of Independent, and guys, if you can have any kind of kids from is it from the under 8s, Barry?
Yeah, under 8s up.
Yeah. So from under 8s upwards, Coach Barry has literally brought players through like Nathan Klein, and some other great pros that we've literally had on this podcast. So again, there's no better place in South London to literally bring your kids. And you know what? And again, it's not only just football, just to be better people. So honestly,
Fabrice, can I ask
Coach.
Sam, when does your pre-season start back and all that?
Already started. So we're
Have you started back already?
Yeah, we're in week 2. It'll be week 3 this week. We're not training Tuesday due to England. So we'll be training again on the Thursday. But yeah, we've had 2 weeks. So we've got the players in early just to build round. The thing is with us, it goes back to the work stuff. That's why we're early. Lads are obviously working. We've got to get their levels up to the right levels. So yeah, we're already started. So
who do I contact for you to send any players over to?
Just contact myself. I'll send over my email, and then I can get into contact with the players and obviously get them down to the sessions. It'd be great to have them involved and obviously work with them. Definitely.
Right,
great stuff. And like Nana, so how's everything sank in now? Like we are 2-time champions of the Beckenham Cup. Like, has it actually sank in yet?
I'm loving that.
Yeah, man. Champion. Yeah, man. It's gone now. It's gone. I'm looking forward to next season. I'm looking to start preseason early. I'm starting preseason next month.
What about pre-season?
That's what I'm doing. So our preseason is meant to start in end of July, I believe.
End of July.
No, no, no.
Yeah, no, I think that's what Ray was saying, isn't it?
No.
Can't be end of July.
You're
End of July.
I may have wrong. I think middle or end of July. That's what something like what Ray said.
Flipping hell.
What about your
But-
pre-season, Nana?
Yeah, I'm starting beginning of July.
Love that.
So I'm starting pre-season. So I'm going to get in touch with you to do.
actually,
To
you know what?
link up and do a few bits and pieces. Because
You know what, Nana?
I need to lose this 10 kgs COVID weight.
You know what, Nana? Like you and I have to go to one of Mo's coaching sessions. I will film it, and I'm sure that we'll have such a great laugh.
You don't need to film it. You need to get. You need to work on your touch.
Me?
Yes, on your touch.
Nana, you know that I'm a better. You know that I'm a better footballer.
Here we go.
Than you.
Here we go. There's a video out there Fabrice has put out saying he's got a touch of a Jedi. Can you believe that? And there's been like 6 easy balls floated to him. He hasn't got one flipping one right. And instead of him coming to see people like, this is what pays me. He's got people like you on his network links. And he's there wasting away, shutting his face off. Why?
You know what? Nana like used to put out all of these. No, hold on, Nana. In our WhatsApp group, Nana used to always, every single morning and afternoon, he say, you know what, guys? I'm eating porridge today. I'm eating salmon and avocado.
Porridge.
And then
Porridge.
You know,
I've never eaten porridge.
And then in the afternoon, you know what? I'm eating salad and I'm eating chicken. Those posts do not come up now because you know what? You're eating hard food now. You are eating fried yam. You are now eating beef. We don't see those posts now, Nana. We don't see those posts now.
At least I'm not eating your pie and mash on a Sunday. but both on a real though, I we need to get in touch with you, do some sessions, and link up.
Yeah, 100%.
I've said to myself, if I cannot get myself where I want to be, I'm not playing football.
Pre-season with MO football coaching. Let's do it.
Yeah.
100%. I've already followed you on Instagram already, so we're definitely gonna link up and do something.
Guys, you've heard it here first. You know, I'm gonna literally clip this little thing and I'm gonna put it on my Instagram as well. So everyone has now witnessed Nana saying he's gonna get fit and he's literally gonna use Mo's football training, coaching to actually get it done. So you know what? Me and you both as well. Me and you both. But honestly, guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Good. Nice to meet you all, man, guys. Good to hear, guys. All your hard work.
Good energy.
Thank you so much.
Sam.
Thank
I hope you can sort your caravan Wi-Fi out.
I don't think he can hear you.
No, brilliant. Thanks, guys. Brilliant. Yeah.
Oh dear. But
probably like 5 seconds, 10 seconds behind.
That's brilliant. Honestly, guys, you know what? Listen, guys, I salute every single manager that's in grassroots. I salute every single coach in grassroots and in non-league. I salute Nana, who's a referee, and I salute all of the referees. I salute all of the founders of clubs. I even salute Arsenal and Chelsea fans. How about that? So, guys, honestly, thank you so much. We will be back next week with some more topics and some more debates. I bid everyone a wonderful week, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bless up.
Later, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, man. Brilliant stuff.